Hey there, it's Andy at Parallax with a video of me following the microbit Python editor v3 WebUSB tests. First up is the before you start section, and basically this is saying to click view and uncheck print layout if it's checked. When print layout is checked, what it does is it splits up pages, and that may make things a little bit awkward in viewing some of the instructions, so it's a lot nicer to have them just in a continuous web page style display. So now everything flows together. The video overview section will eventually get links to this video that I'm recording right now, and then those links will appear right here. Now, the purpose of these tests is primarily to verify that your computer will do the various things with the microbit that we're going to have you do in the hands-on part of the workshop. And we also want to make sure that it works as you're attending a Zoom workshop. So that's what we'll be doing in this set of activities, starting with fishing your microbit out of the kit. Oh, actually no, two items. First of all, if you get stuck anywhere along the way, you'll have my email, and just go ahead and drop me a line and we'll get you unstuck either by an email suggestion or possibly by meeting over Zoom, just to real quickly, have me look over your shoulder as you're programming your microbit. All right, on to step one. Make sure to use the same computer that you are using for attending the Zoom session to program your microbit. That'll be really important because during the workshop I'll be pasting links and actual scripts for you to put into the microbit Python editor, and if you have that on a second computer that's not connected to the Zoom workshop, it makes it real difficult to follow along. So same computer for programming microbit and attending Zoom. Next up, go ahead and take the microbit, that's this, and the USB cable out of the kit we sent you for the workshop. Step 3 is to go ahead and connect your microbit to your computer with the USB cable. Now, if you only have USB-C ports, I did put in a link so that you can see an example of a USB-C to A converter. So if you only have USB to C, here's the USB-C end, here's the USB-A end, and so that goes ahead and makes it so that you can use the serial cable we supply to connect your microbit to your computer if all you've got are USB-C ports. Moving on to step 4. Some things will happen if you have a brand new microbit. When you connect it, it's likely to make a lot of noise. Let's hope this comes through. I'm going to go ahead and plug in a microbit into my computer, and it is doing a little video display and making some old school video game sound effects. And then it'll start displaying messages on its little LED matrix display right here. And you can just go ahead and let it do that. Another thing you might see is a file browser appear. And it might end up, when it appears, it'll look like a flash drive, and it'll show you the 2 default files that your microbit stores in it. And we will not be using that for any of the activities in this course, so you can just go ahead and close the file browser. Next up, we'll have you open a file browser and make sure it's preferably Chrome. So when you're opening it, you might see a the Chrome emblem, and or you can check by clicking the three dots in the upper right, pointing at help, and if it says about Google Chrome and shows that you're up to date, that's really good. It can also alternatively be a Microsoft Edge browser if your computer has Edge but not Chrome and you are unable to install it due to district computer policy, something like that. Edge is fine too. The rest of the browsers like Firefox and Safari, to my knowledge, do not work with the microbit Python Online editor. So here we are in Chrome, and it's going to have you go to python.microbit.org/v/3. And when you get here for the first time, you might see a little video. Go ahead and watch it, and once you're done watching it, it just introduces a couple of features of the editor and suggests that you try something, which you'll be trying a lot more stuff, so you can skip that if you want. Once you're done, hit Start Coding, and you'll be in the online editor. It will have a default script right here, and it'll have a left sidebar and a simulation sidebar possibly open. Maybe not both of these will be open, maybe they will. That's going to vary from one computer to the next and how wide your browser is when you open it. Anyway, we won't need these for now, so there's a little arrow here to collapse the left sidebar and a little arrow here to collapse the right sidebar, and then you can also click the little magnifying glass plus and minus to adjust the script in the editor portion of the web page for best readability. I also recommend tiling this side by side with your instructions so that you can refer to the back and forth between the instructions and the Python editor. Okay, so we just covered several steps. Step 5 was open the Chrome editor. Check. Step 6 was watch the video. Check. Step 7 was tile I called it the Chrome editor. It's the microbit Python editor. Tile it side by side with the instructions. Step 8 was to close the left and simulation sidebars. Step 9 was to hit the plus and minus magnify buttons to set the text size to suit. And now let's continue with step 10. Step 10 is where we click the Send to Microbit button. That's right here. And what it will do is it will take this script and load it into the microbit, and the microbit will start running it. So here we go. Send to microbit. I'm going to read ahead a little bit here now. If this is your first time doing this, you'll see it prompt you to connect the cable, which we've already done. And you'll see it warn you that you're going to have to select a microbit from the list of microbits. We probably only have one connected at this point, and then hit the connect button. And so here on step 13, we're actually doing that. So let's see how that works. I'll go ahead and hit send to microbit, and it's telling me to connect the cable, which we've already done. Then it's warning us that, again, we need to select a microbit from the list and hit connect after hitting next. So we'll hit next. Now we need to select that microbit and hit connect. And then below step 13, it talks about how you might see a sending code to microbit progress bar that takes kind of a long time, and it'll only do that the first time you flash the code because it's updating the microbit's runtime interpreter, and then ever thereafter it's going to go very quickly when you load scripts into it. Okay, so now the script is running, and step 14 basically says to check for this microbit flashed message down here. That means it was successful. Also, when you take a look at your microbit now, you're going to see it repeatedly display a heart and then the message hello on its LED matrix display. That concludes the first portion of the test, which is just making sure that your computer will work with the microbit Python editor to load a script into your microbit. Now we're going to test a little bit more advanced feature that we'll be using a lot during the workshop, and that is the serial console. And for that, in step 16, it says to shade and copy this script and paste it over the default script. So you can either shade the whole thing and right click and select paste, or you can do Control A, or it might be Command A if you have a Mac, and then Control V or Command V in a Mac, and that will go ahead and copy the next test script over into the editor. Step 17 is just checking your work. Make sure that the script that you pasted into the microbit Python editor looks like the one that is shown in the document. For step 18, that's where we're going to send this updated script. But before I do that, I just want to warn you that unlike the previous script, we won't see anything on the LED matrix display. Instead, don't do this part. I'm just going to open another microbit editor. Okay, so here again is the default script. The reason that the default script displayed stuff on the LED matrix display is because of some statements that were in there. For example, this is display.show image.heart, and then this is display.scroll hello. And both of those go, send the output to the LED matrix display. In this new script that we're running, all we have is input, which will display a message and ask you for input from the serial console. And then we also have print, which will display what you typed in response to the input statement. And again, that'll be on the serial console. So nothing will appear on the LED matrix display of the microbit for this part. So okay, with that said, we'll go ahead and follow step 18 here and hit send to microbit. Now if you don't want to keep seeing this, hit don't show this again, and it'll just skip straight to selecting your microbit and clicking connect. And there, that was nice and fast, like it usually is, as opposed to the first time where it went kind of slowly. And so the microbit has been flashed now with this new script. And step 19 is to click the show serial button right here. So there is show serial, and when we click it, it will, hopefully you will see the type of message prompt, just like you're supposed to on line 4. And you can type in something like hello, and when you hit enter, I'm going to drag the separator of the serial console upward a little bit so we can see everything. So here's where I typed hello and hit enter, and then the microbit responds with you typed hello. And then we see this stuff that just automatically gets displayed if the microbit hits the end of its program, which it did. You might not see that message straight away, and if you don't, one thing you can do is click the 3 dots in the serial console, and then click the Send Control-D to Reset button, and it will restart the script for you. You might actually see an error here, but if you wait a couple of seconds, it should, after that, display type of message. Worst case scenario, you can just hit Send to microbit again, and then hopefully it'll display. Ah, look, I've managed. Oh no, there it goes. There is a 2-second delay to make sure that there's time for the message to appear. So another thing you can do is hit Send to microbit again if you don't see type a message the first time. So your 2 options again are click the 3 dots. There's the error that you'll see, and okay, so it's not recovering from that, so you can just hit Send to microbit again, and then the message should appear after a couple second delay. So those are things, again, that if it doesn't immediately pop up with type of message like it did for me, those are a couple of things you can do to get it to work. That takes us up through, let's see here, clicking Show Serial, typing the message and hitting Enter, and then checking to make sure it shows you typed hello. So all we have left now is step 23, which is to make sure you can do this during a Zoom meeting. So for testing during a Zoom meeting, we'll go back to step 18 after running Zoom. That's what step 23 talks about down here, is basically to run Zoom and then repeat steps 18 through 23. I'll set it up to repeat all the steps by closing I just hit Hide Serial, and then we'll hit Show Serial momentarily. So step 18 is, I have to start Zoom first. So here's Zoom, and then I'll just start a new meeting and join with computer audio, and then minimize. And then we'll go ahead and send this script to the microbit again. Hit Show Serial. And by the way, this is the microbit sending the message. This is not a simulation, so that's an important distinction. There is a simulator where you can do this stuff, but we want to make sure that you can do it with your actual microbit. And so hello again. Press Enter, and it correctly tells me I typed hello again, and that is the final step of these tests. So if you got these same results, that means your computer is ready to attend the upcoming Zoom workshop. Congratulations and great job. If you ran into any roadblocks and couldn't get this far, please do drop me a line over one of the workshop emails. I'll reply and either give you a suggestion or try to set up a Zoom meeting to do some troubleshooting. Okay, well that's great. Looking forward to seeing you at the first workshop, and until then, happy tinkering with your microbit.